Hi friends, so today I'm here with the new topic to discuss with you in Palo Alto Firewall. So guys, today I'm not going to discuss in a single topic. I have a lots of things today to discuss with you in this video. Lots of topics are there to discuss with you in this video, and all the topics have the different use cases like L2 interface configuration in Palo Alto Firewall, SVI configuration, L2 subinterface configuration. So lots of thing is there to discuss with you. I already done the power on of all devices. I'm showing you, and I already assigned the IP address on all the routers. DMZ router 1, router 2, LAN router 1 and LAN router 2. All the four routers is having IP address assignment is done. Okay, and I haven't given the any route, no default route and static routes are there. I'm just going to show you. You can see here router 1 there is a no route and IP address is done. Router 2 IP address assignment is done, no route. LAN router 1 and LAN router 2, you can see. So now I am going to start to discuss with you first L2 interface configuration in Palo Alto Firewall. So first of all, try to understand the topology today. There is a two zone, that is DMZ zone and trust zone, right? And in DMZ zone, I have a router 1 and router 2, but the both router is having the different segment of IP address in WAN. Similar in trust zone, we have a two router, but the both router is having the different segment of IP address in WAN. So now I'm going to do the Palo Alto interface configuration as a L2, and then we'll see the, and I will keep the both interface of Palo Alto, which one is connected with your DMZ switch and the LAN switch, will keep under the same VLAN and same zone, and then you will see the all routers will communicate to each other which have the same segment of IP address. Currently, I am discussing as a intra-VLAN communication, not the inter-VLAN. First of all, I will discuss with the intra-VLAN, then we'll discuss with you the inter-VLAN as well today. So let's start the configuration on Palo Alto Firewall, because of we already done the IP assignment on all the routers. So no need to do the anything here on the router. First of all, let's verify once. Try to ping. I'm going to try to communicate from DMZ zone router 1 to LAN router 1 of trust zone, which both router have the same segment of IP address. Let's see, is it possible to communicate the both? You can see currently they are not communicating. They are not able to reach. Similar, I'm going to try to reach from DMZ zone router 2 to LAN router 2 of trust zone 10.168.148.102. You can see it's not reachable. Similar, I'm going to try from trust zone LAN router 1 to DMZ zone router 1. You can see it's not reachable. You can see it's not reachable. So now come on firewall for configure the interface, and after then we'll see the communication is happening or not. So I am on firewall now. First of all, I will configure the zone. So I'm going to configure currently L2 interface, L2 configuration. So I will create the zone as a L2. Okay. So the zone is uh, trust DMZ L2 zone. Okay. Just define the interface type, that is L2. Okay. Similar trust L2 zone 01. That will be also layer 2. Okay. Now create the VLAN. Okay, the VLAN is already created. No worry, I'm just deleting and I will show you from beginning. So just come to the VLAN. I'm just going to configure VLAN as a DMZ. Okay, and trust. I created a 2 VLAN. Okay, now come to the interface configuration. So see, the Palo Alto Firewall ETH1 by 2 is connected with the DMZ switch 1, and Palo Alto Firewall ETH1 by 3 is connected with your LAN switch. So I have to configure these two interface. Come to the interface ETH1 by 2, define the interface as a L2. Now call the VLAN which we created just now. So I'm going to create, okay, as it first of all I'm going to show you with the DMZ zone only. So I will create the both interface as a L2 with the same zone, same VLAN, and then we'll see the result. After then I will change the topology and we'll see. So these are the call use case. So first of all define the interface type L2, VLAN is DMZ zone, security zone is DMZ L2 zone, VLAN is DMZ. You can see the VLAN are same, that is DMZ. Security zone both are same, that is DMZ L2 zone. Now do the commit, and after commit successful we'll see the result. As you see earlier we was not able to reach to intra-zone communication as well. So just wait for the commit successful, then we'll see the result. Okay, so configuration committed successfully. Now try once again to communicate to same segment of machine. So I'm going to try to reach from DMZ zone router 1 to trust zone LAN router 1, which have the same segment of IP address. Now you can see I'm able to reach. Early it was not, but now it's happening. Communication is happening. Similar, I'm going to ping from DMZ zone router 2 to LAN router 2 of trust zone. You can see now I'm able to ping. From LAN router 1 to DMZ zone router 1. You can see now I'm able to ping. LAN router 2 of trust zone to DMZ zone router 2 of DMZ zone. You can see I'm able to ping. Now the question I will show you. You will see Palo Alto will make the table with the MAC address. Just copy this MAC and come on firewall. You will see the what happened. Mhm. Okay, show MAC and VLAN name. Because of I already keep the both interface under the VLAN DMZ. So DMZ. You can see these are the MAC address which one is collected on Palo Alto Firewall. Just verify it. Just check this MAC address is learned on which interface. We can see this one is the same this MAC and it's learned on 1 by 3. Come on topology and verify. Yes, the switch is connected and it's ETH 1 by 3. So that is fine and correct. Now this was the one use case when the both interface will be in same zone, same VLAN, then communication happen. Now I'm going to change the use case and I'm just going to change the security zone, and after then we'll see the impact what will be happen. As I show you earlier, we was able to reach to each other of same segment IP address. Now I'm going to keep this under the trust zone. Wait, I will change it ETH 1 by 2 on 1 by 2 interface as a LAN, because of I will keep this interface as a LAN in upcoming videos. Trust. Okay, so you can see now I changed the zone and let's see what happened. What will be the impact? Okay, so now do the commit. Okay, configuration committed successfully. This was the early communication. Now try once again. You can see the reachability lost. Reachability lost. No reachability and no reachability. Because of both are in different zone. As we know, Palo Alto Firewall is the zone-based firewall. So now what is the solution? The question is, what is the solution? So the solution is I have to be open the allow communication in policy. So for that, just a minute, I'm going to change the VLAN as well. Either leave it, nobody. Just come to the policy. Here we have to create the allow DMZ to trust L2. Okay, here also DL2. Hmm. I was created a zone tag, so I'm just going to call them. It's not the necessary, so don't worry about this. Okay, now come to the source. What will be the source? The source will be DMZ zone L2 and trust zone L2. Similar, because of I'm going to open the communication vice versa, not the unique communication. Okay, let's wait for the commit successful. Okay, commit successfully now. Now again check. You can see now I'm able to reach to the same segment of machine from here as well. Yes, yes. So you see here the two use case of L2 interface of Palo Alto Firewall. Now I'm going to show you a sub interface of L2 because of Palo Alto Firewall is allowing us to create the L2 sub interface as well. Okay, so I'm going to show you L2 sub interface configuration in Palo Alto Firewall. First of all, just remove the configuration from here and remove the what configuration is there, just remove it. So after when you are deleting this, so it means you are delete the configuration, whatever configuration are present on this interface. This interface will be directly moved to like a factory reset, similar to when we are doing the interface as a default in Cisco router and switch. So now I'm going to start configuration on. So first of all, define this interface as a L2 and just leave it. Similar, just define the interface as a L2, rest of thing leave it. Now I'm going to create the sub interfacing on L2 interface. You can see interface is now L2. I'm going to do the sub interface. So here try to understand. First of all, I'm going to keep the both segment like 172 168 segment of IP will be in the VLAN 172. 10.168 will be the segment of IP that will be in the VLAN 10. VLAN 10 will be LAN. VLAN 172 will be the DMZ. Okay, so what things we have to do? I have to now configure the switch as well. So I will create the two VLAN on switch. VLAN 10, VLAN 172. I will assign the interface under the VLAN according to requirement of topology. Then the interface which one is connected with your Palo Alto firewall of switch, that I will be configured as a trunk, because this interface have to transfer to carry the packet of different VLAN, multiple VLANs. So that's why we have to configure the interface, uplink interface as a trunk. So let's do. First of all, come to the DMZ switch, enable host name. I'm going to change DMZ switch 01. Okay. Now do show IP interface brief. Okay. So, okay. First of all, I have to configure the VLAN, right? And I'm just okay. VLAN 10 name as a LAN or trust. Okay. I'm just going to trust, because of I used the trust keyword under the Palo Alto as well. It's not the necessary to keep the same name, but I'm just keeping because of for the reminding purpose. Remaining, I will be remind that. So that's why either you can keep the name different as well according to your understanding. Name DMZ interface. Which interface? 0 by 2. Come to the interface 0 by 2. Switch port mode access, because of this port will be carry the single VLAN IP. Switch port access VLAN uh, one, okay, that is 172. This one is 0 by 2 will be the member of 172 VLAN. So 172, no shut. 0 by 3 will be the member of VLAN 10, because of you can see the IP address. Just mode access VLAN 10, no set. Come to the interface, uplink interface, that is 0 by 0. Switch port trunk encapsulation dot 1q. Switch port mode trunk, no shut. Do right. So switch configuration done. DMZ switch configuration has been done now. So VLAN brief. So IP interface brief. Okay. Now come to the LAN switch. Enable conft host name LAN switch 01. VLAN 10 will be trust. VLAN 172 name will be DMZ. Okay, interface Giga Ethernet 0 by 2, that will be the member of switch port mode access. Switch port access VLAN 172. Okay, no shut. 0 by 3. No shut. Okay, come to the uplink. Okay, switch port trunk encapsulation dot 1q. Switch port mode trunk, no shut. Do right. So it's done now. Configuration on switch, both switch. Now we can close the switch tab from secure CRT because of it will be not required in future as well. So remove it. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Now come to the firewall. So I'm going to create the sub interface. So there will be the two sub inter VLAN 10 and 172. So I have to create the two sub interface on Palo Alto ETH 1 by 2 point 10 and point 172. I'm going to create point 10 tag the VLAN 10. I'm going to tag this interface first. I'm going to create now VLAN that will be the for trust and it will zone trust. Okay, and okay. Now create one more sub interface for the DMZ. So 172 VLAN, that is DMZ VLAN zone, security zone will be the DMZ L2 zone. Okay, now come on interface ETH 1 by 3. Similar here, I need to allow two VLAN, that is 10 and 172. So 10 will be for the trust, zone will be trust, 172 DMZ VLAN DMZ L2 zone. Okay, now it's done on firewall. Now do the commit. After commit successfully, now the all the router can communicate to each other which have the same segment of machine. They can communicate with the same VLAN members. That is called intra VLAN communication. Currently I am showing you intra VLAN communication. Okay, just come to verify. You can see let's wait. What happened? Why it's not communicating? DMZ is able to communicate. LAN is able to communicate. No issue. They will be also communicate because of it's a simulator, so they hang like any R port. So well, yeah, you can see now it's start the communication. So all the routers you can see it's able to communicate with the same VLAN, with the same VLAN, same zone members. That is the sub interface of L2, right? Now the question is, can we communicate with the different VLAN? Hmm? Now the question is, can we communicate with the different VLAN? This was the intra VLAN. Now I'm talking about the inter VLAN communication. So for inter VLAN communication, we have to be enable the routing. We have to be the required route on LAN router as well. Let's show you. First of all, I'm just trying to ping of LAN zone segment machine. You can see I'm not able to ping. I'm not able to ping. It's not reachable. Not communicating. No communication. You can see inter VLAN communication is not happening currently. So for perform the inter VLAN communication, what will be the requirement? Now the concept is coming SVI. First of all, we have to define the route on router. For example, I'm going to configure the default route for towards gateway. But what will be the gateway of this router? So what will be the gateway? No any IP address is assigned on Palo Alto Firewall. You can see how you will give the gateway. So let's clear you. I'm going to use the gateway IP as a 172.168.148. Last digit I will change as a 254 for the both. Okay, and I will show you now inter-VLAN communication with the help of SVI. So for that we have to do IP route 0.0.0 0.0.0.0 172.168.148.254. Okay, do right. Control Z. Just change the show IP interface brief, show IP route. You can see now we have a one route towards this. Similar, show IP interface brief, show IP route. Show IP, you can see now. Okay, you can see all router is having the IP address of gateway, but router can be able to communicate with the gateway. The question is first. No, because of gateway is not configured yet. So where will be configure gateway will be configured on Palo Alto Firewall? That will be configured on SVI. I will create the VLAN. So I'm going to create two VLAN, that is VLAN 10, VLAN 20. Sorry, VLAN 10 and 172 I'm going to create. VLAN 10 I creating for trust and define the name, no issue. Trust, that is comment VLAN. VLAN will be trust. Virtual router will be default. Zone will be, now we have to create L3 zone because of whatever zone we created yet previously, that was layer 2 zone. Now we have to create layer 3 zone. Okay, so we can go here to create a zone, that is trust L3 zone 01. Okay, now we have to define the IP address gateway. So the IP will be 10.168.148.254/24. I'm going to create the management profile as a ping for the testing purpose. I'm going to allow only ping. It's depend on you, your wish. If you want to enable telnet, SSH, ping, HTTP, HTTPS, it's depend on you. You can just check the option. So I'm not going to do that much. I'm going to only enable ping. So mgmt profile ping. Okay. Hmm. One VLAN config SVI configuration has been done. Now the another for 172 I'm going to configure. 172 name will be DMZ. Okay. It's not necessary to define the commit. It's totally depend on you. I just defined for the understanding purpose. Virtual router will be default. Security zone will be trust L3. No, I have to create the separate zone for TMZ as well as a layer 3. So come to the zone, just change the name DMZ. Give the IP address here, which will be the gateway 10.172.168.148.254/24. It's done. Now do the commit, and after commit successful, we'll see our router should be start to communicate with the gateway. Hmm. It's done now. Let's try to ping. 172.168.148.254. That is the gateway of this router. You can see here. You can see now I'm able to reach to the gateway. Similar. You can see. Hmm. Anyway, you can see all the router now able to communicate with the gateway, which one is present in Palo Alto Firewall. Now the question is, can we now perform the inter-VLAN communication? Let's see. No. Answer is no, not. Now, why? Because of policy. We still not defined policy in Palo Alto Firewall. You can see no one is able to communicate as a inter-VLAN communication. For that, we have to define the policy. Where? Come to the policy and define the policy. Mm, Now, I'm going to use the name like similar, who will be that. Just I will copy paste the name DMZ L3. Now we have to define L3, not to the L2. For inter VLAN communication, INT here VLAN communication 01. Okay, okay. Uh, Now the source will be DMZ L3 zone, trust L3 zone. Because of your all the machine are able to reach firewall, but on firewall the both VLAN not communicating. So that's why they are to DMZ and trust. Okay, it's fine. Now commit. And now we can remove the old policy that was now not no longer required, but leave it. Now after commit successfully, the inter VLAN communication should we start. Let's see. Let's verify, is it or not, if it's happening or not. So just a minute. Hmm. Let's verify. This was the early output which was not happened, right? Now try once again. You can see now I am able to communicate as a inter VLAN routing, right? VLAN 10 member can start the communication with the VLAN 172. 172 VLAN member can start communication with the 10. So it's happening now. Okay, and it's so because of now I already defined the policy based on L3, so no longer required L2 wheel policy. Just remove it. No, delete. Okay, now next topic is now organization your boss is saying, okay, first of all, you try to understand now router DMZ zone, all the routers are start to communication each other means inter VLAN communication is happening now. So the question is, suppose I'm going to power on this machine. Okay, wait, I will show you one more use case and then we'll move for to reach the internet. So the okay, just on, wait till machine is coming up. Now, meanwhile, you just try to understand on this end machine is having the IP address that is 10.168.138.x, and this machine will be able to communicate its own gateway. It can be able to communicate with the router 1 interface IP address, which one is present on gig 0 by 0, which one is 172.168.148.102. But can this machine be able to communicate with the gateway of this router? Means which one is present on Palo Alto Firewall, that is 172.168.148.254. The answer is no. Why? We'll see. First of all, wait. Okay, the ECH came up. So mm, first of all, assign the IP address on IP config. You will see no IP address is there. This one is the APIPA IP address. So we have to be change the IP here. Open network sharing center. Either you can directly go to the search window plus R and then paste there ncpa.cpl. You will be reached to here. Just change the adapter setting. Double click on Ethernet property and I'm going to assign the IPv4. So here just give the IP address. That IP will be 10.168.138.101. Subnet mask, that is 255.255. Gateway will be 10.168.138.254. DNS, I'm going to use global DNS 8.8.8. Okay, okay, close. Now, as I told you, this machine will be communicate with its own gateway. Ping 10.168.138.254. You can say it's able to communicate with its own gateway. This machine will be communicate with the router WAN IP address 102 and 172. What is the IP address on LAN router? 1. LAN router 1. So IP interface brief 172.168.148.102. Oh, I was being the wrong IP address. That was 138. That's why it's not able to communicate. Just it is 148. You can see it's able to communicate. But now I'm going to reach on Palo Alto Firewall. It will not communicate. Why? Because of no route is present in Palo Alto Firewall. SHOW. So routing route. You can see no route is present for the 10.168.138. So we have to be define the route. Come to the firewall. Come to virtual router, static route. I'm going to define the route. S route for 10.168.138.0. I'm going to define this route for this 10.168.138.0 slash 24. Now interface, which will be the interface? That will be VLAN. Okay, and the IP will be 10.172.168.130 sorry 148.102. Okay, next hope. Now the route has been defined. Just do the commit and let's verify. Okay, configuration committed successfully. Now come to the end machine. Meanwhile, first verify the route. Now route should be present. You can see now route is present, and come to the window machine. Now this time it should be reachable. Why? Just wait. What happened? Why it's not pinging? Ping source 172.168.148.254 host 172.168.148.102. Okay, fine. Now 10.168.138.1254. First try. What happened? Let's see. Let's come to verify once. Ah, oh, okay. Actually, I defined the route that is wrong. How it is wrong? You see, this IP address 172.168.148 is the segment of VLAN 172. I defined as a next hop of this route as a VLAN 10. So that is the reason it's not getting reach. Now it will be reachable. Just wait. 10.168.1. Okay. This one. 172, 168, 148, 102. Because of this IP address is present under the VLAN 172, not under the 10. Okay. So that was the reason it was not able to communicate. Now it should be communicate after commit. So wait, commit successfully. So commit has been done successfully. Now ping source is 172.168.148.254. IP address is 138.101. Okay. Let me check. You can see now the communication is started. Now end user machine can able to communicate with the Palo Alto Firewall gateway which of router 1. So now the requirement is, can this machine be able to communicate with the internet? The answer is no. Why? Because of I haven't configured the WAN. Now the part is coming to configure WAN. First of all, a Palo Alto firewall is having no route. So route, you will see no route is present on WAN interface. No IP address is configured as well. So first of all, come to the interface. I'm going to configure the Ethernet 1 by 1 ISP01. This interface will be layer 3. Default zone will be untrust that we have to create. Okay. Define the IP address of interface 101.101/24. call the management profile. Okay, that's done. Now we have to define the default route towards ISP. So come to create the default route, D route ISP01. That's 0.0.0/0. Interface will be 1 by 1. IP will be 101.1.254. Okay. Commit. I have done the WAN interface configuration on Palo Alto Firewall. I have done the default route configuration on Palo Alto Firewall. Now I need to just configure the WAN router only, and we'll see Palo Alto Firewall will be able to communicate with the internet. So come show IP interface brief. No interface loopback 0. So our interface gig 0 by 0, which one is the WAN interface in WAN router. So come to the interface IP net outside. I'm going to define this interface as a outside because of I will configure here the PAT DHCP no shut. Now come to the interface 0 by 1 IP net inside IP address 01.1.254.255. Okay, do right. That's enough. Now create the interesting traffic. So I have to configure the ACL access list 100 permit IP any. Okay, IP net inside source list 100 interface. Overload. Do right. This much configuration is enough for this lab to reach the internet. So IP interface brief, you will see gig 0 by 0 IP address is assigned through the DHCP. I am able to ping internet as well. Okay, you can see source 101.1.1254. You can see it's reachable done. We can close the WAN router. It's not required now. Okay, now try to ping from firewall to internet. So ping source 101.1.101, host will be 8.8.8. You can see now from Palo Alto firewall to internet reachability is fine and started. Now the question is end user machine wants to communicate with the internet and it's not happening. So for that we have to configure some policy because of you are now trying to reach to the internet. So for that you have to create the NAT policy as well as security policy. So come first to start configuration. Meanwhile, I just keep the machine as a ping. Once it will be done, it automatic start to reachability. Come to policy. Okay, NAT policy and create. I'm going to do the SNAT DIP. Okay, leave it. Inside to outside communication. Okay, you define the name as your understanding. So this one is coming under the DMZ, right? DMZ, leave it. DMZ L3 zone 012 UN. Okay, now it's fine. You can call the tag for the understanding purpose. And now source will be DMZ L3, destination will be untrust, interface one by one. I'm going to use DIPP interface address. This one is the interface one by one. IP will be this. Okay, now NAT policy has been done. Now come to the security policy as well, we have to define. Okay, for that come DMZ to untrust. It's done now. Wait for the commit. After then you will see your end machine will be start communication with the internet. So these all the topics was the agenda today to discuss with you. We done that. So we was discussed today as a L2 interface configuration on Palo Alto Firewall, SVI configuration, sub-interfacing, L2 sub-interface configuration, everything I show you. I show you how you make the reachability from end machine to outside internet. You can see now reachability is fine. So in this video, this much only. It's already video is long, so long. Now I will come again with the new topic in next video. Thanks for watching and please like and subscribe the channel if you really enjoy this channel video.